second. All right. I want to also introduce Susie Wiles, who's fantastic. She's our chief of staff, and she's an amazing person, an amazing fighter, and she announced a minor difficulty, which will be in good shape for, he'll be around for a long time. She had a diagnosis, you probably saw it, and she's going to take care of it immediately, as opposed to waiting. She said, let's do it now. I said, do it immediately, because with that particular ailment, the faster the better. That's the only thing I know about it. The faster the better. She's going to do it immediately. So she just started, actually, and she's going to be in great shape. The prognosis there is excellent, beyond excellent. So,
thank you, sir.
But who needs it, right?
That's right.
Who needs it?
Caroline, does the White House view Vanity Fair's article on Susie Wiles as a hit piece?
Nnamdikanu friend and who was the lobbyist to Biafra, Susie Willie, has gone gaga in White House because she's upset with the Nigerian government planning to sentence Nnamdikanu to death, and she has brought this issue to Donald Trump. She said the Southeast leaders must be held responsible if anything happens to Nnamdikanu. At the same time, do you think that the Trump-led government should ban the Southeast leaders if anything happens to Nnamdikanu?
Well, let me just say congratulations to Susie Willis. I learned that she had just fully recovered and the first assignment in the White House, after a long while, and people were blaming her absence to a lot of bureaucratic, disconnect between the Donald Trump quest for Biafra, Raleigh Moore, Ted Cruz, and the rest of them, But thank God for James John, who took the damn responsibility in that regard. But I can tell you that Susie Willis is back confidently in the White House after a long period. For those who does not know Susie Willis is one of the prominent, responsive, loyal IPOB lobbyists, in United States of America, in conjunction with Ben Bruce. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, U.S., Tim Bruce, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer in United States of America. A lot of them can remember. To give you an insight who Susie Willis is, and the first engagement with the U.S. President Donald Trump was to react to the unfortunate cross appeal of the Nigerian government taking the side that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be replaced with a death sentence. They have actually, make mockery, and that was what angered Susie Willis. And he presented officially, the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Donald Trump, and one gave a straight warning to Southeast leaders that enough is enough. If anything happens to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will be devastated. That's what the report we are hearing read. The woman was very upset with the silence of the Eastern governors regarding whether it was true or just mere public opinion speculation, or just to test the public response with death sentence on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So the U.S. government came up heavily on Southeast leaders' silence over this statement by federal government, even though the federal government themselves is taking up another angle. You see, they are very careful and very sensitive this time around to be careful with how they direct their statement. For those who have been following these platforms, you will continue to do it, share this video, and let the people also get to know what is actually, going on. That the coming of Biafra is very, very, very close. If the U.S. government fails to do it, thousands of countries are there who are ready to recognize Biafra and damn the consequences. We have also let the EU know that the European Union, that they don't need to come to Biafra to defend Biafra this time around. What they need is to provide logistics for Biafrans to be to defend their country by just simply recognition. That's what the Biafrans all over the world, both home and in diaspora, are trying to pass a message, to the Sokoto Caliphate, to world leader, to EU, to AU, to ECOWAS, and of course to United Nations, and of course America, that we don't need American soldiers here to come and defend Biafrans for any reason. What we need is just that recognition. And it has triggered a kind of confidence within the structures of the United Nations and the structures of the United States government. Yes, that these people are actually capable of defending, not fearing any consequences that comes with it. As long as because what Nigeria is facing is both ideological and is existential. You know what I mean? We are certain people have sworn that you do not deserve to exist, that your race, as a tribe, is a threat, and you must be wiped away from the surface of the earth. So Biafrans are facing existential problem, threat from Fulanis, Arab communities, Muslims all over the world. So that is the picture, and we have Biafra has surpassed the Nigerian record in all ramifications in terms of human capacity. Just name it, whatever it is. The Nigerian government knows that they are no longer matched to Biafra this time around, because the children of the oppressed have actually risen, according to Philip Effiong. So Dr. Wiles, sent a very straight message to the U.S. government, and also told them clearly that this time around, it cannot escape it. Those who are silent, Eastern governors, talking about Soludo, talking about Hopo Zadema, Odzo Kanu, the unfortunate deputy speaker, that called himself Benjamin Kanu. They are very unfortunate, they are there and they are watching Fulani enter Enugu, enter Abia, enter Imo State, killing people. None of them have said anything. Now, what they want to do is to connive with Bola Ahmed Tinubu to sentence Nnamdikanu to death. Go and dream it today. Before you even pronounce it, Biafra has already been recognized and established as a sovereign nation in this part of the world. Before you hatch it, you cannot beat the intelligence of IPOB. You cannot. The people who are in part of I learned that 70% of people who are involved in this committee are not even Biafrans. Containment committee set up by Nnamdi, most of them are not even Biafrans. These are powerful people around the world, powerful lobbyist organizations, powerful influential personalities in the United Nations, in ECOWAS, in AU, in past, almost all around the world. You don't know what that means. You think it's just about the DOS and IPOB. No! Nnamdikanu's personality, image, has gone beyond that. The world is discussing him as a hero, not as a failure. The world is discussing Nnamdikanu today, not as a failure, but as a hero. Do you know what that means? Today, Biafra is being discussed. Who made it possible? Said you bring it? Yes, that you. I know very well that a tree cannot make a forest, but we must take responsibility that there's not how we can get 100%. But Nnamdikanu has given more than enough and deserve support in all ramifications. I don't care to know until the time comes when very soon he will be released.
But we've heard here, like of Bianca, coming out say that she's here with her position to make sure that Tinubu release Nnamdi Kanu, and at the same time, Do you not think it's our time the like of Susie, and the US government finally ban, because according to report, the Southeast leader might be banned from entering the US if nothing is being done as regards Nnamdi Kanu or D.
There's nothing they're going to do anymore. The Southeast governors has been mortgaged, including Biafra himself, that does not know how to respond to issues of xenophobia in South Africa. No, that is the fact. You can see how wobbling she is. She's fear and she's afraid. She valued her job, more than the what her husband actually represents. That does not mean that she's hungry, but you can see the role she's playing now, very dangerous role against his own people, But the fact still remains that she will be among part of the people that will be, that will go into exile when Biafra comes. Yes, because if they felt, nobody's even talking about Mazi Nnamdi. I remember when they got that appointment, it was saying Mazi Nnamdi, Benjamin the same thing, Odzo Okalu the same thing, Omahi the same thing. All of them, what have they actually done? Nothing. Mazi Nnamdi is fighting alone. You can see how painful it is. But because he is convinced on what he is doing, he has see, that's why he's being celebrated today. Who knows all this Okalu? Who knows? We don't know them. They don't have. I tell you, the only person that any Igbo Biafra anywhere in the world will recognize is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Outside Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
So what Okalu is not known. What Okalu's Odima, they are not known.
That's what I'm saying now. If you remove Tinubu from Okalu will run away. You understand? Because they do not have the background. Look at they have lost the ground already in Abia State. But the only man who is preparing, knowing fully well that Abia State is God's own state, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came from, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu state, supposed to be one of the most powerful states in the world, for having produced such a great icon. I can tell you that the IPOB leader, the supreme leader himself. So, very clearly, Susie Wiles has made it a very serious issue now before Donald Trump, and the White House is watching what Nigeria government is going to do, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is approaching his appeal, and I think the process is very clear, and the government is coming with a position of death sentence to sentence him, and none of the Eastern leaders, governors, political leaders has come out to condemn, even if it was a mere threat. You can see. The only people that are speaking are just ordinary Biafrans anywhere you find them. You find them in Ijoland, you find them in the Shekiri, you find them in Urobo, you find them in Cross River, you find them in Akwa Ibom, you find them just everywhere, even in Benue and some parts of the Bedo Belt, who are also in solidarity that this is the only wise thing that can achieve, that even restructuring of Nigeria cannot achieve freedom. Freedom from anything that has with unity, cohabiting under one Nigeria. We see the infiltration and continuous conquest of the Fulani agenda. We celebrate Susie Wiles, and we hope that the surveillance is already on Nigeria currently now, and you can see there's already a judicial shift from what it used to be before. Omotosho, likely going to face the consequences with Southeast leaders and all those who were involved, in the kangaroo arrangement to sentence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment and send him to Sokoto, which has been condemned. The United States, we are asking, why would you even in the first place send this man to a Sokoto prison? That's how wicked Bola Ahmed Tinubu is. And I can tell you that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is also pro-Islam. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is running a jihadist government. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is part of the jihad in Nigeria. But many people does not know. And that is why they are conning people. They are conning. That's what they call them, Yariba people. They are conning. I'm not the one. Yes, one of them just find out today that it was Fulani that named them Yoruba. They just find out. So they does not even know. So the only problem the British are having, the Fulani are having, and remember, it has been long centuries, the British have always been using Fulani, not the nomads, the Arabs, to achieve certain ends in terms of their colonization, corruption, and looting, which Nigeria happens to be a victim. And they blame Igbo man for resistance all along. Till date, Yorubas are pretending as if they don't know the truth. But I hope now, I think they are knowing the truth. And that is why we are saying that the narrative actually have changed and will continue to change forever. Thank God for what is happening now about Biafra. You know, it is not just ordinary. A lot of people made it possible, and I say the Biafrans all over the world and the lovers of freedom celebrate. You all who has contributed so much to bring solidarity, bring world attention to Biafra today. God bless you.
Thank you.